Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Charles Sebastian, and welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamers Pro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we have an excellent show for you guys. Before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and sub to the channel. So yesterday, Stephen A. Smith made his long-anticipated visit to Gills Arena. And when I caught the show, they were about an hour or so in. I just got back from the gym. And they had about 73,000 viewers watching concurrently, live. So it was a big deal. Apparently, the numbers peaked at around 80-something thousand. A lot of people tuned in, and it was a fantastic show. I gotta say, they touched on all of the topics that most people wanted to hear them discuss, and they talked about the elephant in the room, which was the situation that occurred between Stephen A. Smith and LeBron James. And I think people wanted an unadulterated, unfiltered reaction from Stephen A. Smith about what took place between himself and LeBron at that Lakers game. And I got to say, he didn't disappoint, right? He didn't disappoint, and he had an opportunity to expand on his ideas and some of the issues that he had with LeBron James. So what we want to do is want to play some of what Stephen A. Smith had to say on the Gills Arena, and I want you guys to listen to that, and I'm going to continue on with the show. Take a listen to what he had to say to those guys there.
So my point is, rather than come up to me at courtside, all you had to do was say, yo, I need you to stay. Don't leave this game. I need you to see you after the game. That's all he had to say to me. Then as we speak, he says that, let's take an example, he said what you just said. Yeah. I stand down. My bad. And not only that, I'm going to make sure I go on the air. I ain't look at it that way. That's on me. You didn't do that. You said, you son. No, I wasn't. I was talking about you. I was talking about you. Wasn't about your son. I know he's number 55. I know he got work to do. Woo. I believe that he got potential. Yeah. I believe that he got the potential to go pro. I truly believe that. It's going to be tough. But I think he could pull it off. And by the way, I'm rooting for him. I ain't rooting against nobody. But I was talking about your ass. You did this. You the one that had us as reporters, as a league, as an NBA franchise. All of us got to sit back and be quiet and capitulate to your Come on now. You did that.
So you heard what Stephen A. Smith had to say. So this morning, I woke up and I came across a video from, was it Fox Radio? And it was a clip of Rob Parker essentially reacting to what Stephen A. Smith had to say about LeBron's antics in that Lakers game, specifically what he had to say on Gills Arena. And if you guys know anything about Rob Parker, especially as of late, he doesn't pull any punches when it comes to these LeBron issues. And he pretty much let LeBron know exactly what he thought about his behavior at that game. And he went directly at him. But before we even get into what Rob Parker had to say, today's video is brought to you by our sponsor, Prize Picks. Prize Picks is America's #1 daily fantasy sports with over 10 million members. Prize Picks makes it easy to get real money action on the sports and players you love. You pick more or less on at least 2 for a shot to win up to 100 times your cash. For example, this week on Prize Picks, I'm looking at the upcoming NBA schedule and selecting Stephen Curry for more than 29 points and Kevin Durant for more than 27 points and Anthony Davis for more than 12 rebounds and Luka Doncic for more than 8 assists. If you're like me and you like to play it safe, you'll love Prize Picks' new feature, Flex Plays. It's the safest way to play. You can still cash out even if your lineup isn't perfect. Plus, you can double your money even if one of your picks doesn't hit. On top of this, Prize Picks puts their members first, so all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. When my picks hit, I can get my money as quick as in 15 minutes. So download the Prize Picks app today and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly when you play $5. That's code CLNS on Prize Picks to get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. And remember, whenever you support this sponsor, you're supporting this channel. Thank you. So what we want to do now is we want to play with some of the sound of what Rob Parker had to say, and I'm going to come back and continue on the show. Take a listen to Rob here.
I thought it was lame on LeBron's part. I really did, to do that. I saw something that Ryan Clark said, and I thought to myself, that's spot on. like that he never stepped to Skip Bayless like that. You know what I mean? Who's for a long time talked about his
made
career,
a career out of basically
and
the last
stuff like
10
that.
years,
It's just interesting that Stephen A. would be the guy you feel like you want to come up and be big and bad. I just thought it was unprofessional and unnecessary, and drew attention to himself. He's usually the passive aggressive guy with his tweets and some of the stuff that he does, but here he felt good about doing this in public, where he easily could have picked up the phone. Rich Paul and his people could have picked up the phone. Yeah. Steve ain't afraid of anybody, okay? I've known him for a million years. He'll have a conversation with you, and if he needs to push back, he'll push back, and that's who he is. It's not an act. He's from New York, okay? That's how people respond. So I just thought it was lame to do it in public, do it near the locker room in a private office back there or whatever, and if you want to air yourself, air Steve out or yell at him or whatever. I've been yelled at and whatnot, but not, Rob, come down to the field and let me yell at you in front of everybody. That's the part that I just didn't appreciate and I thought was bad and unprofessional.
So you saw what Rob Parker had to say. That you heard what Rob Parker had to say, basically saying it's lame, that didn't need to happen in public. And funny enough, Tim Hardaway Jr.'s dad, Tim Hardaway, said that he has done what LeBron James has done before, but he has done it behind closed doors, right? So let's get into what Rob is saying and all of this. Look, I think Rob understands this issue from the standpoint that maybe some people do, because I know a lot of people don't agree with Rob. Rob is essentially saying, look, you didn't need to make a spectacle out of this, right? And I think that that's what LeBron wanted to do. He wanted to make a spectacle, because if you approach Stephen A. Smith in a Lakers game front row, it's going to make news. It's going to get headlines, and that's exactly what happened. Subsequently, we saw the video of LeBron speaking to Richard Jefferson, I think at the Celtics game, and he was like, when he brought up the father thing, I can't do this, I can't do that, da 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 da. And Stephen A. Smith is calling BS on it and all of that. This is about you and this and this and this. To me, at this point, man, look, I don't really understand what LeBron and them want from this situation. If Bronny's going to come to the NBA, you already know what it's going to be. You already know. Now, is it natural for him to feel a type of way about the affairs surrounding his son? Yes, it's normal, right? It's his dad. It's normal. A normal, not even that, a normal parent, right? A normal parent will feel that way. They'll get defensive. But at the same time, I don't think Stephen A. Smith was being unfair to Bronny. I've said it before and I'm going to say it again. I don't think he was being unfair. I think he was calling it down the line. And as a matter of fact, on Gills Arena yesterday, he talked about how he went out of his way to avoid speaking about Bronny, which already shows you the preferential treatment he was giving him, because he doesn't give that same leeway and that grace to other players. So you even have more leeway. You have another advantage. Unless you're saying that he's not allowed to have any opinion. Now, of course, people are saying it's the dad thing and all of that, but I think that's a cop-out. I think it's a cop-out. People are looking for any possible way to twerk it up. They are looking for all the possible ways we can twerk it up all over the table. That's what I'm just going to keep it 100. I'm not up here. I refuse to twerk, because you're talking about, well, it's his son. Excuse me. There are 450 NBA players, right? Don't they all have dads? The vast majority of them. So when you talk about this, you talk about that. Won't their dads feel a type of way? But LeBron's situation is unique because he's the only player in the NBA currently active that has his own son in the league. And to Stephen A.'s points on the show, on Gills Arena, you market it as father and son, with the King Griffey Jr. and his dad coming out. Like, so to me, man, personally, I just think it's some of these dudes looking for something to complain and whine about. Yes, LeBron is his father, and I know it gets dicey when you talk about parenting styles and all of that, but guess what? That's how you marketed it to be. Me and my son. Unless you're saying he's 100% off limits. Don't talk about him and don't say nothing about him. Don't say nothing about me. And then the question then becomes, why? Why should we do that? Why do you get to tell us what and what we can't say? You do your job. We don't stop you. Why are you stopping us from doing our job? What gives you the jurisdiction over our affairs? You don't pay us. So to me, man, look, people are going to twerk whatever way they want to twerk with this topic. I mean, it's just getting redundant now. I'm just covering it because new people are coming out with new thoughts and opinions about it. Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section. We catch you guys on the next show, and I'm out. Peace.